Beginning Yi 2.0, Part 5 of 15, Passing Data with the Site Controller to the Index page. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do a couple of fixes. We need to fix the style CSS and bring it up to date to Bootstrap 3.2, which is used by Yi. The grid system is different. And fix the behavior so that the sign up and products creates SQL work correctly. I was using some older code in that, and I needed to bring that up to date and get everything corrected on that. And then our main part of this is we're going to modify the site controller and the index view to pass and render data. And we're also going to create a new shop controller. And and in the shop controller, it'll create some views for us as well that we need. So let's get started. Remember, you can get the code at https://github.com tskmatrix ycom. Okay, our first fix is to the Bootstrap code we have in our style CSS. We need to bring it up to Bootstrap 3.2, and Bootstrap 3.2 has changed the grid system a little bit. It used to use spans, and now it's using these columns. So it's got the row must be placed within a container or a container fluid, which is what we have. And then we need to use our grid options down here. What we're going to use is the .column mid 3, 3, so that we get 4 across our grid system. So a column mid 3 would give us 4 across. So we just need to do that and change our CSS file. All right, so we're in our IDE. We come down to our front-end web, to our CSS folder, and our style, and we bring that up into our editor. And we search for span 3 is what you'll search for, unless of course you download all this from GitHub and then it's already done for you. But all I did was a search and replace for span 3 to be column-md-3, and that will fix our CSS files so that everything will come out the way we need it to. Okay, that's all there was for that one. We'll get on to our next fix. All right, so go to your common folder and the models folder, and we're going to pull up both user PHP and ycom active record PHP, because that's where we have our behaviors. User PHP uses its own behavior, while the ycom active record extends this out to any model that we want it to go to, just by declaring that that model extends the ycom active record. You want it to look just like this now. I had a value in here that was causing a problem, and that's only because it wanted to create a new expression, and we didn't need it to do that. It does that automatically in Yi2, so we wanted to change that up. Then we wanted to do the same thing in our function behaviors in user PHP so that that works. This will clear up all the problems that we were having with sign up and with products and different things that we were trying to add. We were trying to create some things, and we were getting SQL errors from the database. So that should clear that up. Okay, come on over and pull up your front end controller, site controller. And right here in our action index is where we're going to start making some changes. Okay, we need to pull some data from our database and then pass it to our index page. Okay, so I declared an array because I've got to make an array of arrays. So I declared an array, subcats, to carry our subcategories. And then I called for categories, and using the new way to do things in Yi. I love the way they've got this working now. So we have a product categories model, and we need to find where our parent product category ID is 0 as an array, and we want all of those. So it'll pull back each of our categories. You'll want to go ahead and create some categories. I've already done that for you. But if you'll pull the database information, it'll put all that in there for you, or you can just do it yourself if you have different categories and different product types that you want to put in there. Be my guest. But I use the parent product category ID of 0 to indicate my top categories. So that's what we're looking for. And then for each of those categories as a row, I need to pull these product categories, which are subcategories of the product, of the category, excuse me, a subcategory of the category, so that we get some information onto the page. And then our featured products will be a find, and then we're going to use product medias. So let's take a look at that real quick. Over here in our products model, common products model, you'll notice that right here we have product medias. This is our alias for getting information out of product medias. So we're going to use this. So the product model will use product medias to pull all the product media out. So there's a lot of database work that just data input that you have to do to get this ready to go. But other than that, the code works, and there are already some things in there that you can use that have been uploaded to the GitHub site. So you might want to check that out. Product categories has basically the same thing. It has something on products, so we can pull products from product categories. And then product medias has the same thing. It has a product. So it can pull things from products from product media. So those are all interesting things that we can do with those models. Okay, but we're concerned with our site controller, and it's going to pass these 3 arrays into our index view. And then in index, we need to come on down here. Let's get out of the top end of that. Right here, you can pull the array up so you can view the array. Just uncomment these, and you can pull up the arrays to see what the arrays look like that they're coming out of. And then right here, we start a for each. Pardon me. We start a for each. We don't need that line, so we're going to take that line out. So our for each starts here. And we have some information here that we're going to pass into it. So for each category as cat, we're going to take a look at the path. We've set up a path to our category, and then we pull our icon, which is the image that we want, out and put that in. We're using the Yi app request base URL to get all this information. And then we use our good old Font Awesome fonts here. And then we pull the name for the title. And then we pull our product category ID and tag that onto the back of this, so it'll be there'll be an ID number. So shop index will have an ID number when we go out there. Then we also had a to do another for each for our subcategories, so that we could get our subcategory information out of there. And we only want it for particular subcategories. So if the subcategory equals the parent product category ID equals the category product category ID, then go ahead and give us the name and tag on the product category ID on the end of our URL, our link URL. And we want to do the same thing for our see all. And then we no longer need a sub counter. So we'll take that out. Some experimentation on my part. And we get our close tag here, or our closing curly brace here for our whole top end for each. We do the same basic thing for our featured products. Notice that the col mid 3 item is now in place on this. That's one of the things you'll have to do when you just see span 3. Just do a find and replace on that, and you'll get put your col mid 3 in there. But we do basically the same thing. We pull our featured products, and we get our image. Now this is interesting. The array has the product medias, and then it has another array underneath it, which is 0. They're all going to have a 0 array, and that's the one you want to use. And we want to get the image URL out of that, so that that gets tagged on to, or tacked on to our the end of this little snip right here, this little text right here, so that our link comes up properly. And then we're going to use our shop details, and we'll add something to that to make sure that we get to the detail page. It gets a correct ID number going to it, so that it pulls up the correct product. Okay. Well, that was pretty simple. Okay, so with all the fixes in place for our CSS and with our data involved, this is what our page should look like now. Well, we have categories, and we have our category subcategories going in, and it would it's not finding our object because we haven't created that yet, and we're going to do that next. We'll create our shop object, our shop controller, and our pages. And here are our featured products. So we have some products in our database with some prices and some images. Okay. And we'll take a look at our shop and make our shop and our controllers for our shop and our views and actions for our shop. That'll be next. Okay, so we want to create our controller, so we go into our G and go to controller generator, and we want to create a shop controller. Okay, and we want to create a new products, a product detail, a checkout, and a new customer along with our index page. So we hit preview and we get all these views and controller. Now notice that it's going to go into front end controllers, which is where we need it. And we need to generate these. And so we now have a new shop controller. We have new views under shop folder. And we've adjusted our index PHP or modified our index PHP view in our site to use the new CSS fix. So I did fix that so that it would come across. It was using some old Bootstrap code, and we needed to update that so that it would use some new Bootstrap code, or at least come up to date to 3.2 Bootstrap. So let's take a look at our shop controller. As you see, we have a checkout, our index, a new customer, a new product. So like new products that came in, what are new products? These are, like featured products that we're going to have, but these are new products. So we'll say, well, if it's new, if it's on a certain date, something like that. And then of course our product detail page. So we're going to render product detail, which will be right here. So our product detail page will be here, and we're going to be passing some information to that. We'll also be passing some information to our index page for our products page, kind of a shop page, so that everything's going to show up there. So this is where we'll do all of that. Okay, I think that's all there is to the new shop controller. If you'd like to check out the index, it's just an empty file. So we're going to be changing all that up. So that's all there is to that. There's no model for this since we're not going to be doing any, pardon me, if we're not going to be doing any CRUD on this other than the basic CRUD that we need to do. It's going to be handled by the controller rather than by any model or anything like that. Okay? All right. Well, I'll see you next time in part number 6. Okay, this ends part 5. It's should be up on the GitHub site. Remember, you can always get the code there. So check all that out, and we'll see you next time. Beginning Ye 2.0.